A weekend spent with my father illuminated the path to healing and rekindled our bond in ways I never anticipated. For years, our relationship felt more like two passing shadows. Each other's presence was felt, yet the distance loomed large, dominated by an unrelenting silence rather than meaningful conversations. After my mother's passing, the grief we shared didn't draw us closer. Rather, it exacerbated the rift between us. We became to individuals, separately navigating the depths of sorrow, unsure how to bridge the chasm that had formed between our once close lives. Then, one morning in early spring, something profound shifted. Without a clear understanding of how or why, we decided to take a trip to the coast, somewhere the rhythmic sound of the waves could articulate what we struggled to express in words. We packed our bags lightly, just one each, and carried with us an unspoken hope that this journey might help patch together the frayed edges of our relationship that time and grief had so carelessly torn apart. The drive was quiet, filled with occasional soft murmurs about the picturesque scenery and the way the sunlight transformed the landscape. However, as we reached the outskirts of the beach town, a sense of change washed over us. The dunes unfurled like an old memory, and the expansive ocean, shimmering in the sunlight, greeted us like a long-lost friend. The wind carried the briny aroma of salt and wildflowers, and for the first time in a long while, a weight seemed to lift from my chest. Stepping onto the warm sand felt like reconnecting with a forgotten part of myself. The cool grains beneath my feet and the sea breeze brushing my cheeks felt like an old lullaby that soothed my troubled heart. I turned to Dad, expecting the familiar silence, but instead I found a flicker of peace in his eyes and a gentle smile gracing his lips. We didn't require words, merely standing side by side, watching the waves roll in, began the slow process of healing. In the afternoon, we wandered the shore together, shoes in hand and pants rolled up to our calves. We let the surf chase us, just like it used to when I was a child. Dad pointed out shells and bits of driftwood, and as he shared stories I hadn't heard in years, genuine laughter bubbled up from within me. Memories flooded back, my mother's laughter echoing in the wind, Dad hoisting me onto his shoulders during beach bonfires. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting soft golden and lavender hues across the horizon, we found a weathered log and settled on it. The sea hummed softly, gracefully filling the silences between our words with something far more profound than anything we could articulate. In a moment of pure connection, he reached over and took my hand, a simple yet powerful gesture echoing the comfort emblematic of our shared past. I was overwhelmed by emotion, grateful that even after so much time had passed, the warmth of his touch still felt so wonderfully familiar. That night, we kindled a fire on the beach, its flames crackling in the stillness of the night as we roasted marshmallows and watched the sparks dance into the starlit sky. I opened up about my work, my hopes, and dreams I had never mustered the courage to share before. He listened intently, not just with his ears but with his whole heart. In turn, he shared stories of his youth, his fears and failures, things I hadn't imagined he would ever reveal. The night enveloped us, and the glow of the fire carved a space where we could truly connect, not merely as a father and daughter lost in time, but as two souls discovering one another anew. When I awoke the following morning, the horizon glowed in gentle shades of aquamarine and peach. Dad was already awake, wrapped in a blanket and gazing out at the sea. I joined him, and we silently watched the sun rise together. That moment felt like an unstated vow, and assurance that this time we would not let our lives drift apart again. He turned to me, his eyes reflecting a rare mixture of pride and relief, and murmured, "This was a good idea." I could only nod, the lump in my throat preventing me from uttering anything more. The rest of the weekend blurred in a tapestry of quiet moments. Laughter came more easily, and our silences no longer felt heavy with unspoken words. We visited a nearby market, vibrant stalls teeming with color and scent. As I admired a necklace made of sea glass, he remarked, "It's beautiful, just like you." It was a compliment I hadn't heard in ages, summoning forth feelings of nostalgia for the father I once knew, the one who made me feel that the sun itself rose each day for my smile. Later, as we sat on a bench overlooking the harbor, I found the courage to voice what had been weighing heavily on my heart. "I missed you," I whispered. "I missed us." His eyes glistened with moisture as he replied, "I missed you too. I'm sorry for the time I wasn't there." In that moment, he reached for my hand once more, and we shared a silence that resonated far deeper than any apology. On our final night at the beach, the sky unfolded in mesmerizing swirls of rose and violet. As we watched the sun sink into the sea, Dad made a quiet promise: "We'll do this again more often. Life is too short to keep waiting." I leaned my head against his shoulder, tears slipping unbidden down my cheeks as I whispered, "I promise too." Then, in a moment of unexpected vulnerability, he pulled out a hand-stitched notebook worn at the edges. Inside was a letter, its pages neatly folded, carrying the words I didn't know I needed to hear. "My dearest," it began, "from the moment you first held my hand as a child to the woman you are now, I have watched you with awe. Your laughter, resilience, and heart have always been the best parts of my life. I haven't always known how to show it, but please know this: I am proud of you more than words can say." As tears blurred the page, I looked up, my breath caught in my chest. "This means everything to me," I managed to say. He held my gaze, his warmth steady and unwavering. "You don't need to say anything," he murmured softly. "I just wanted you to know." That night, back at the cabin, the rain tapped gently against the windows as we curled up by the fire, wrapped in blankets, laughter filling the spaces between us. For the first time in years, I felt a peace I hadn't thought possible, not because everything was perfect, but because we had truly found our way back to each other. The following morning, as we drove home with the landscape blurring by outside the window, I stole a glance at him. He caught my eye in the mirror, smiling. "Thank you," he said simply, "for this." I smiled back, my heart brimming with gratitude. "Thank you, Dad, for coming with me." As the road stretched out ahead, a ribbon of light promising new beginnings, I knew we had embarked on a journey that would not fade, a new chapter woven with stronger bonds and a promise written not just in ink but in the essence of time, memory, and shared moments of quiet joy.